Hi everybody. Today's reading is from a play I wrote called The Quarantine News. It was part of a collection that was called roughly the Quarantine Plays, written during the lockdown of 2020. Hope you enjoy it. The Quarantine News. A television news promo runs on the screen with the music. Now with the evening news from around the world and up your street, it's the Quarantine News with Brad Justin. Video cuts to a young man sitting in a chair facing off left. He turns and stares at the camera. Brad. Good evening, and here's the news. A photo of a cat peers behind him on a green screen. Today, Mr. Whiskers, the beloved cat and family pet, was found at the back door with a small lizard in his mouth. The discovery of the feline surprised the entire family as it sat down for a midday meal at the kitchen table. The lizard appeared deceased until Mr. Whiskers placed it on the concrete patio, at which time it reanimated and ran for the safety of a nearby hydrangea bush. Mr. Whiskers could not be reached for comment due to a hurried chase of said lizard. The lizard is believed to have been unhurt and is looking for another place of residence. Brad turns to another direction. Another camera picks him up. A green screen shows a hallway of doors. For the second week in a row, a discussion could be overheard between the matriarch of the family and the youngest daughter concerning payment of allowance. The Right Honorable Mom has levied a penalty payment in the amount of $15 due to the budgetary ignorance of Missy, junior member of the household. It seems that the junior member has spent an excessive amount on a new video game entitled Animal Crossing. This exorbitant spending has left little of her birthday money from the dame of the family, Granny Justin. These monies were supposed to have been used during a family vacation to Mackinac Island in the fall. The junior member argues that the vacation, in her words, won't even happen because of the damn virus, end quote. The Right Honorable Matriarch immediately slapped an additional penalty of $1 payable to the swear jar for the vocabulary infraction. Missy, in an act of defiance, stopped down the hallway and slammed her bedroom door, leaving the leader of the house to retire to the kitchen for a gin and tonic. Brad turns back to the original position. Photo of a jigsaw puzzle half finished. For the 19th day, a puzzle depicting Washington crossing the Delaware has sat untouched on the dining room table. At the beginning of the government-mandated shutdown of all outside activities, the puzzle was unearthed from a long-ago forgotten shelf in the basement. The puzzle was brought out and began in the hope of fostering allegiance in these dark times between the whole family. At its inception, it was derided by both the oldest and youngest members of the team as a ploy by the residential board to control the masses. Although some found the idea a challenge, including members of the working class and the media representative, the luster soon wore thin, leaving the puzzle to remain as it has for nearly 3 weeks, with only a partial border surrounding a half-finished boat and no sign of the father of our country. Green screen shows a picture of several books. In education news, the final 2 weeks of the school year are in sight. With only 8 days of prepared lessons before finals, the push for an adequate grade consumes the entire scholastic team. There have been many substitutions made by the second-string educators, including an entire day spent in the backyard classifying and removing invasive vegetation from various flower beds that encircle the school, as well as being coupled with the use of a variety of presentations done by public television. This has left the students yearning for the days of Mrs. McWhorter and her stiff demeanor. This reporter longs for the halcyon days of badly written English reports on the Count of Monte Cristo and not some 1930s black and white movie that frankly has people in it I've never heard of. Brad turns. Collage of sports images appears on the screen. And now, in sports, there is no sports news. Everything is canceled. Everything. My dad and I watched a baseball game from 1984 last night. It was painful. It was like watching ghosts running around the field. My dad was really upset because he already knew who had won the game. We switched to some obscure channel and watched 2 Russian guys slapping each other. I guess it's a sport there. That's what we've been driven to. God, I miss baseball. He breaks down. I gotta get a hold of myself. This virus is driving me crazy. If I have to listen to one more song by Billie Eilish coming out of my sister's room, I don't know what I'll be capable of. Collects his papers, stacks them on the deck, on the pile, and bangs them on the desk. Okay, I can do this. Snaps out of it and returns to newsman role. And now for our weekly food segment, a bowl of tuna casserole shows on the screen. The winner of the Hey, I'm Just Trying Here award goes to Mrs. Jennifer Justin from just down the hall for this interesting take of the Lenten favorite tuna noodle casserole. Mrs. Justin has made a name for herself on the cul-de-sac for her engaging attempts at replicating standard fare with non-traditional ingredients. Her cold chicken lasagna and Bloody Mary mix and the equally surprising hot dish of bologna and hard-boiled eggs in coffee cream have turned heads throughout the domicile. But last night's tuna noodle bundt cake really has wowed the judges. In her own words, I'm tired of doing dishes. It's a main course and a dessert in one pan. Eat, don't eat, I don't care. Hats off to you, Mrs. Justin. We can only hope for more of your inspired meals. Green screen goes to a weather map. And weather, who cares? We're not supposed to go outside anyway. I did see this. They say that the ozone layer is closing, so we got that going for us. Brad stacks his paper on the desk. The green screen shows a title card, Brad Speaks His Mind. I'd like to take this opportunity to speak to you about something on my mind. I know it's been tough. I know that none of us are enjoying this, but we have to keep trying. We have to make it through this. We have to wear masks and stay 6 feet from each other and be tested and do all those things that keep us from frankly killing each other off. I've heard people say that it's God that's thinning the herd. I can't believe that. I can't believe God would be so callous that he would let the father of 2 kids waste away alone in a hotel room and not see his children one more time. Or that a 90-year-old man would have to celebrate his birthday through a window so his grandkids wouldn't get him sick. Or that doctors and nurses are working 24 hours a day trying to save the lives of the very people who just won't do what they need to be safe. Can it really be God's will that all of those people die? I don't know. I just don't know. But what I do know is that my family is safe. My family is healthy. And even though we get on each other's nerves, and even though we bicker and we fight, we are glad we have each other. So I want you to do something for me. I want you to turn to the person that is next to you, and I want you to say thank you. Thank you for being here with me. If you're alone, pick up a phone and call someone. Tell them you're thankful for them being who they are and for being in your life. Each other is really all we have sometimes. And sometimes, I guess that has to be enough. And that's what's on my mind. He stacks his paper and smacks them on the counter again. That's all for the news we have for this installment of Quarantine News. Make sure you check in again next week at this time when I'll begin my 4-part series, What the Hell Is That Smell Coming Out of My Sister's Room? Thank you, and as always, stay safe, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, or if you didn't, contact me at moonmiplays@gmail.com. Let me hear what you have to say. Thanks for listening.